St Mary's, which feels like we always do, in what was an absolutely huge win for Bruno Lage, and a game that I feel like we kind of needed to win, and I think we deserved to win in the end. The team lineup kind of came out, and um, on Twitter there was kind of outrage. People were saying, "Why has Ruben Neves been dropped? Why has Adama Traore been dropped?" And I never get why people get so mad at team lineups. Like, just you might as well just wait until the final whistle's over, then judge it, right? And even though I think the first half wasn't a great half, Semedo had a good chance. I thought, Daniel Potence got in good areas, but didn't really do anything with it. Same with Huang. But I was surprised at half time about how many people were like being negative about that game. Like, Southampton didn't really have a clear chance, bar the offside goal, and I thought everyone was playing fine. Like, it wasn't always working, but I think the blueprint was there. And the second half, the performance level stepped up a bit. I think there was obviously like a few players that stood out, but I think that whole defence was fine, at least defensively anyway. Gave ball away a bit, but I never felt like we were going to concede that whole game. Coutinho had a really good game. Dendog is continuing to impress, to be fair to the guy, and Huang and Jimenez were useful. Obviously, it was a big goal for Raul Jimenez, but I thought his all-round game was good anyway. Even if he didn't score today, I think he still probably would have been the best player, bar Jose Sarr, who is kind of showing why he was maybe not an upgrade on Rui Patricio, but it wasn't a downgrade by any means. I thought Jose Sarr was the best player. His distribution, even before he got the assist for Raul's goal, was brilliant. Made a few, not like world class saves or anything, but kept us in the game. And his performance levels have been consistently going up now, and that's definitely not a downgrade. And that was a goalkeeper's position Wolves had to get right when they got rid of Rui Patricio, and we've done that with Jose Sarr. I thought Conor Cody had a better game. I think it would have been harsh to drop him after the Tottenham game, and I think he's earned his place back. He had a good game, and look, I think going forward, obviously Ruben Neves will play more regularly, and Adama Traore will come back in. But there's nothing wrong with rotating the game. Podence and Huang had good games in midweek. Ruben Neves was poor, and Ruben Neves has played every game basically this season, so it was the right decision to rest him. And this was more of like a Nuno. This was more of a Nuno sort of performance, right, than maybe a Bruno Lage type performance. But we need points on the board, and it was. Look, I think the Brentford game, I think everyone was disappointed after we lost that Brentford game, but I think watching them against Liverpool, you can kind of make the argument they were probably a bit better than we thought they were, and we've won the games that we were supposed to win. I didn't think we'd win today, to be honest, but we should be beating Southampton, we should be beating Watford, and we've got those performances over the line, and against the big teams we performed. Like, bar the Brentford game, I don't think there's any game where there's anything really glaringly obvious wrong with this side, and this side that won today, I think there's still ways it can improve. Obviously, by a midfield in January, Rain Nuri will come back from injury, Willy Bolly will come back from injury, which is another thing as well. Like, when the team lineup came out, everyone was moaning about Willy Bolly not playing, and look, I wanted Willy Bolly to play, but I can understand why Bruno Lage doesn't do it. Like, the back three all had good games and have had good seasons, bar the Brentford game, in my opinion, maybe the Tottenham game midweek. But defence hasn't really been an issue for us this season, bar that Brentford game, for me anyway. And Willy Bolly's our only backup defender, and he's injury prone, and he's just coming back from, a hamstring injury where he's been out for a month. And with Jesse Mascara getting injured, I don't think Bruno Lage really wanted to risk playing Willy Bolly, which I can kind of understand. But look, it wasn't a great performance. It wasn't like amazing or anything, but it was solid, it was compact. We got the job done. Massive goal for Raul Jimenez, completely deserved. The only criticism you'd have of him is, in that last minute where he probably should have squared it to Adama. But this is positive, and for me now, Jimenez has kept his place. For me, Huang would keep his place for the next game against Newcastle. You'd probably bring Adama Traore back in. And honestly, the midfield's a hard situation because you can't really drop Dendonka right now. They had two really good games, and I thought Moutinho was probably one of our better players today. So it'd be interesting to see if Ruben Neves comes back in. The only real downside is Rain Nuri's injury and Nelson Semedo going off. But overall, really good performance, and I think the two key guys are Jimenez and Jose Sarr. They're running their places, and you could argue Jose Sarr's probably been our best player this season, and hopefully Jimenez, that goal, it'll kick him on, and he'll go to that next level. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, big up Raul Jimenez. Peace.